you're not sure if this football thing's really for you, there's no plan and everything feels directionless, but why would you not set goals and actually commit to your dreams? The losers will say, you're not in an academy yet, so you may as well not even try. It's getting to you, but do you really want to live a life like them anyway? You don't. You want to be balling out on the pitch, smashing your goals, getting closer towards your dreams, and eventually playing in front of thousands and living your dreams. You want to know how you can do this? Constant goal setting and ruthlessly working towards them. Every action, every decision, every day is dedicated to achieving your dreams. This is what it means to have a purpose, and if you want to get into the top 1% of footballers, it starts with goal setting. We've all had that few-day period where we're working really hard, we're seeing huge improvements on the pitch, and it all happens because we're working towards our goal. It's our entire life mission at that point. And on the flip side, we can't help but feel bad about ourselves when we know we should be doing more and aren't making any progress towards becoming a footballer. This is the reason why so many footballers feel bad about themselves, because we're living in a procrastination era. There's nothing worse than having huge big goals and doing nothing towards them. But when you feel obsessed over becoming a footballer and you're seeing progress in real time, you feel on top of the world. So today, I'll be telling you exactly how you can join the top 1% of footballers. Let's begin. Stage 1, writing your goals down. Most people never do this, and this is why we feel so lost in life. Yes, we have these great big ideas in our head, but there's no accountability behind them. But when you write them down, it becomes real, and it makes you realize what you actually want to do. It legitimizes the entire thing because now there's hardcore evidence that this is really what we want to do, and this alone will kickstart our grind. So simply write down, I want to become a professional footballer by 2027, for example. It can be anything like this, and that's all you need to do for stage 1. Stage 2, creating our plan. Most people who watch this video will only get as far as writing the goal down, but if we actually want to achieve this goal, it starts with weekly and daily actions. Seeing as you're not in an academy right now, you're sort of playing a game of catch up, or at least that's how I saw it when I was younger. I'm gonna tell you a brutal truth. Those kids in academies right now, they're better than you, and if you want to take their shirt, you're gonna need to outwork them. I want what I just said to make you angry. You should actually be physically angry with what I just said. There's someone else out there right now who's literally living your dream. They don't deserve it more than you, but all you need to do to take their shirt is put in that work. You have to be careful of the losers who try to get you to slow down. You know, the types of people who say, oh, none of this stuff matters and you should only focus on your own journey and be happy. Now, of course, all of those things are true. You should be focusing on yourself and you should be happy, but it's also important to be realistic. There are literal kids out there who are living your dream, and that should make you so annoyed. You should be angry about that. You aren't where you want to be right now, and the only way to change that is through hard work. Because of this game of catch up, we need to be playing football at least 5 times per week and doing all of our recovery work as well as eating a clean diet. We should be first mastering our technical ability. I have hundreds of videos on this, so I'd recommend watching my previous video after this one. Next, we should be practicing position-specific drills. This will help you stand out in your position, and both of these 2 things that I just listed is literally the recipe for becoming a top 1% player. As for recovery and diet, cut out all the junk food, start taking ice baths after training, and start stretching before training. Now we know what you must do to become a professional footballer on a weekly basis. We need to map this out into a weekly schedule. Now, there's no perfect routine here. We all have different commitments. Just make sure you're training at least 5 times per week, you're doing all your recovery work, and you are eating that clean diet. This weekly schedule will help us stay disciplined because we know exactly what needs to be done for us to achieve our goals. I know I've covered the specifics of what we actually need to do to become a pro footballer quite vaguely. The reason for this is it's obviously a very complex system, from gym work to training to recovery work to diet, etc., etc. The list goes on and on. So if you are interested in that, then click the first link in the description because that's where my program will be. Our members are seeing a lot of success inside. So if you are interested in signing for a pro academy, click the first link in the description. Stage 3, consistency. This is the key here. Your favorite players, Lamine Yamal, Ronaldo, Messi, all of them were very consistent. Not over a weekly basis, not even over a monthly basis, but literally over years. That's the truth about football. The people who say it's impossible to make it just simply aren't seeing football on a long enough time scale. They think you need to get into a professional academy by the age of 14 or you won't make it, but I know a ton of guys who have recently signed for Premier League teams and Championship academies, and they are as old as 21 years old. So if you're watching this and you're a young player, maybe 13 to 16, even 17, 18, you still have a lot of time on your side. So just keep working hard and be consistent. That is the key here. You have a window of time of about 10 years to seriously throw everything into football and lock in. And if you do that, I genuinely promise you it's impossible to fail, because to get into the top 1% of footballers, you need to beat the 99%. This sounds obvious, right? But 90% of footballers, they don't ever find that consistency. It's always, I'm going to be a footballer, I'm going to train super hard, and nothing happens. So if you can just take action and find that consistency over a long-term basis, not just a week, not just 2 weeks, but literally a few years, it's genuinely impossible for you to fail. You're only actually competing with a small number of players, because like I said, those 90% of players, you're not in competition with them. Just by finding consistency over a few months, you'll absolutely eliminate them. And then you're only competing with a small number of players. You should always use this analogy. Imagine you're running a race, and at the end of this race, there's huge ribbons and there's a finish line. And when you reach that finish line, that's you signing your first pro contract. That's you proving everyone wrong and achieving your dreams. And how fast you run determines which level of professional football that you'll play, all the way from the Premier League to the lowest form of pro football. Now, let me ask you a question. How would you run this race? You would run this race as fast as you can, right? But you need to be careful. Like I said earlier, there are some people in this race that want to slow you down. But who would do that? That sounds nuts, right? Why would they want to slow you down from achieving your dreams? It's the people who tell you it's all about having fun and winning doesn't matter. Sure, having fun is important, but if you really want to win in football and get that pro contract, it's hard work. There are going to be days where you don't feel like doing it, but you just have to put in that work. And to be honest with you, that's more fun anyway. Going out to the pitch on those days where you really don't feel like it, putting in a hard training session, even when you're literally, you got your head in your hands, you don't want to play football, you feel miserable, it's raining, it's cold, it's wet. Those are the times where you will come off the pitch and you will feel so good about yourself, more so than if you just went and trained because you felt happy. It's also not just people telling you to slow down. It's the video games, it's the junk food. Now, imagine you're running this race. I'll ask you another question. Would you stop in this race just to play video games for a few hours? No, that would be the most stupid thing ever, right? So when it comes to real life, don't slow down. Consistency is key, and this is how you'll get the success. If you'd be interested in me helping you run this race faster, then click the top link in the description, because I help players get signed to professional academies. I'd love to have you inside, and you could be next. See you in the next one.